gut bacteria, studies have shown that loves fiber. Okay, and which has fiber? Plant has fiber. So vegetarian diet has fiber. Does it mean that you doesn't have to do non-vegetarian at all? Absolutely not. Non-veg is okay as well, as long as you feed your gut bacteria. Okay, so non-veg will not feed your gut bacteria. So either you go vegetarian completely, which is the best thing if you can. Second thing is, I would say that if you can do, when you eat non-vegetarian, make sure that you have lots of fiber. And I always promote that extremes don't work. So I came up with this term called, don't worry about vegetarian and non-vegetarian, be a Dr. Palitarian. Where 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, 21 meals a week. So you do 80% vegetarian. And then remaining 4 or 5 meals, 16 meals will be non-veg, vegetarian, and the remaining 4 or 5 meals you do non-veg. Okay. So for this, I got a lot of argument, but this is what I strongly believe, that extremes will not work. And if given a choice, and if I can able to meet all my dietary macro requirements, protein and everything, I always prefer vegetarian. Okay, because studies have shown that non-vegetarian diet is not inferior to vegetarian, but no studies have shown that non-veg is superior, especially from a gastroenterology standpoint, from a gut bacteria. So when you said plant-based, I was absolutely loving you guys already. So tell me more about it, how the principle stands in Satvik.
I think we would have to break for Satvik per se. We see food not just as how you see it, the combination of calories, of fiber, and how our gut bacteria likes it. I see there's one more layer for food. We see is how it affects inner spiritual being. And the energy of the food affects us subtly, which may be not possible to study under a microscope. So I would say that we see it food in that sense as well, along with everything else that you shared. So I think we'll also present it from that point of view. Yeah, and this is again something which is not, I don't know if there's any research behind it, how it adds to that energetic being within us. But when we are talking about food that is coming from animals, most of the cases it's coming, and I'm just going to say it, it's a cause of suffering to the animals. It's in pain of the animals that the food is then created. So-called food is extracted and created. So energetically, that carries that pain, that suffering that the animal had to go through. And when we are consuming it, we think we are only consuming the vitamins and the proteins and the fiber, but we're actually also consuming the karma or the energetic suffering that is absorbed into us. So I think because we are seeing food in a holistic sense, for us, eating plant-based becomes very critical.
So it's an eye-opening thing for me as well, looking at the energy part of it. In theory, it makes a lot of sense, correct? I completely agree. Good. But the argument would be that, hey, are you completely against non-vegetarians? And if so, what is the research that you have that, plant-based will improve your spiritual well-being? And you rightly pointed out that it cannot be shown under the microscope. But any evidence based on your personal experience, your experience with patients, or any studies?
I would say that I've never consumed meat myself, so I would not have direct evidence to state on that front. But I think there is something to learn from history here. If we look at any of our spiritual institutes or science groups, spiritual science groups, whether it's Buddhism or Jainism, or even if we see today the spiritual religious institutes, you'll notice that all of them are practicing a vegetarian lifestyle. So just by virtue of observing at a distance, there must be some correlation why they're not, at least in India I could say, they're not all, none of them are they're very strongly promoting a vegetarian lifestyle. So there is some correlation from whether it's the karmic point of view, that if you are causing suffering to another, it will end up affecting you sometime or the other.